This is Gareth Southgate, and this is the Three Lions podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Three Lions podcast. My name is Russell Osborne and this is an independent England football supporters podcast. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you're well. Hope you enjoyed the most recent episode that came your way. That was the one where I spoke with Derek Niven about his latest book, The Pride of the Three Lions. Now there's still a chance to win a signed copy of that. You'll need to have listened to the episode though. Just to refresh your memory, the name Derek Niven is a pseudonym. Just email me who it's a pseudonym of. Go back to the episode, it's number 303, and the answer is within our conversation. Once you've found it, email me your answer to threelionspodcast@gmail.com, and as I said, I'll draw two winners out of the hat on the 13th of this month, February.
Solum audax, solum fortis, solum magnus, the nations lead.
Right, let's crack on with this episode. We are taking a look at the Nations League draw. It took place 5 p.m. on Thursday, the 8th of February. But just prior to that, in the run-up to Christmas, as part of the England Advent calendar that I run every December on social media, just posting pictures, as you would, a regular Advent calendar. One of those pictures I posted was the possibilities for our Nations League opponents for League B this year. Yep. You may have conveniently forgotten that we were relegated after finishing bottom with just 3 points, courtesy of 3 draws, bottom behind Germany, Hungary and Italy. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining, and it means that we have some less than usual locations to visit, which seems to have gotten a lot of people's hopes up. As I say, the draw took place on the 8th of February in Paris. It was supposed to be in Madrid, but what with the Luis Rubiales scandal back at the Women's World Cup, it was relocated. I said in the last episode about possibly going over there and seeing if I could wangle my way in. But in the end, I don't even think they said where it took place. But basically, it was an auditorium full of international managers in suits in Paris. Where it was, I don't know. But we were in pot 1 alongside Austria, Czechia and Wales. So we couldn't be drawn against any of those in a 4-team group. So we moved down to pot 2, which had a very Scandinavian feel to it. Finland, Iceland, Norway and Ukraine. Pot 3, Slovenia, the Republic of Ireland and Montenegro. And finally, pot 4, Georgia, Greece, Turkey and Kazakhstan. So after posting those pots, the tweet got quite a bit of attention. It's really interesting seeing people's different perspectives on it, who they'd like and where and why, all those sort of things. But I think the main things to take from it was that Kazakhstan was most people's dream draw and Ukraine and Ireland were the ones people didn't fancy so much. But a few of those responses to the Twitter post. Andy Katanach fancied Iceland, Albania and Turkey. Connor Wells, Ukraine, Slovenia and Greece. Richard Cook, Finland, Ireland and Kazakhstan. Chad Thomas, Finland, Albania and anyone from pot 4. Mark Stevenson said none appeal from pot 2. Ireland from 3 and either Kazakhstan or Georgia from 4. So, the draw commenced. How did it pan out? Well, once Fanchion, I think that's what she was called, or they were called, had performed the Nations League theme tune with a twist, The dynamic duo of Pedro Pinto, UEFA's communications fella, and Giorgio Marchetti, UEFA's vice secretary, got down to business. Actually, earlier in the day, UEFA president Alexander Seferin said that he won't stand for another term in 2027. So I wonder, will Marchetti get a shot at the big time? Who knows? Who cares, I hear you say. This is, of course, the Nations League draw was the main highlight of the UEFA yearly congress, of which one of the other things that I saw was announced. They came up with the idea that the UEFA Europa Conference League will now just be known as the UEFA Conference League. Oh, the things they must get up to at that Congress meeting. Anyway, where were we? Let's go back to the draw. Find my page here. Leagues D and C were drawn, and I'll touch on those in a moment, but let's get straight to B. Out came Serbia's Aleksandar Kolarov, formerly of Manchester City. He was in charge of pulling the balls from the pots. We were drawn out second for Group 2. And as the draw went on, we were paired with Finland, the Republic of Ireland, and Greece. So Richard Cook, I think you came fairly close there. Finland, Ireland, if only Kazakhstan. Nearly. Let's just roll back through the history books. Finland, we've met them 11 times before, winning 9 of them and drawing 2. The last time we did play each other was in the 2002 World Cup qualifying in 2001 in a match played up at Anfield. I sat second row on the Kop that day. Not the best view, admittedly, but as a football fan, to get to see the Kop from that angle, that was quite impressive, I have to say. Ireland, the one very few wanted. Over the years, we've met 17 times. We've won 6, drawn 9 of them, and lost 2. As a kid, I can still remember the defeat in Euro 88. There was the draw in Italia 90. I think we were paired together in qualifying for Italia 90. I think we drew both of those. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. Then there was the abandoned game in 95, which I'm sure as the game comes around again, that'll be brought up again by certain media outlets. Then there was the 0-0 in 2015 where 3,000 of us went over for the abysmal game. One that is recounted in episode 100. It's the Tedious Games episode. We paid €70 for that privilege. And we last met in a 2020 behind closed door friendly at Wembley. We won 3-0 there. Then, if you hadn't taken in that Finland had been drawn with us, and they had taken up the restricted travel allocation ruling, then you may have been jumping up and down thinking Kazakhstan were coming our way. Sadly not. They were put into the next available pot, and we were then joined by Greece, a nation we've met on 9 occasions, winning 7, drawing 2, and of course we all remember the Beckham last-minute free kick at Old Trafford in 2001 to send us to the 2002 World Cup. Well, believe it or not, believe it, that was the last time we met. And as I've mentioned on this podcast before, Greece away, also in 2001, was my first away day, which I recount with my good friend Dan Hardman-Smart back on episode 85. It was in the Your First England Away Game series. Hopefully I won't be getting a train from Salonika to Athens this time around. So at the time of recording, the specific dates of the matches, they're not known as yet, other than match day 1 takes place between the 5th to the 7th of September, all this year, 2024. Match day 2, 8th to the 10th September. Match day 3 and 4 in October. Match day 3, 10th to the 12th. Match day 4, 13th to the 15th. And then match day 5 and 6, both in November, the 14th to the 16th and the 17th to the 19th. And I know people are going to be asking about tickets at some point, and probably already, and allocations as well. I mean, it's far too early to say at the moment, but I think you have to base it on the 5% that we're generally allocated, isn't it? And I've seen a couple of sort of mentions on Twitter at the moment. Take it all with a pinch of salt, but I've seen that Finland is going to be around 1,800. Republic of Ireland, 2,500. So despite the fact that we had 3,000 in 2015, I don't know if the stadium has changed in any way, shape or form. I don't know. But that may be because it was a friendly. And then Greece, when I went in 2001, they were playing in the Olympic Stadium, but I know now they tend to play in one of their club sides grounds, might be AEK Athens. And that, again, is only looking at about 1,600. So it's going to be a bit of a bun fight for tickets, for away tickets for these games. But we will find out nearer the time. So, as I said, that's our group. We're in with Finland, Ireland and Greece. What's your reaction to it? Let me know on social media. But let's just take a look at some of the other groups. Well, League B, let's start there. The Czech Republic are in Group 1 alongside Ukraine, Albania and Georgia. Group 3 features Austria, Norway, Slovenia and Kazakhstan. And Group 4, Wales, they're going to be travelling to Iceland, Montenegro and Turkey. Now, let's start from the bottom, the way the draw was made. League D only features 6 teams, so it's broken down to 2 groups of 3. Now, Group 1 features San Marino and Liechtenstein, and one of either Lithuania or Gibraltar. Now, Lithuania and Gibraltar still need to play each other to work out who will get promotion to League C. Group 2, Moldova, Malta and Andorra. League C is the same as Leagues B and Leagues A. It's 4 groups of 4. Group 1, Sweden, Azerbaijan, Slovakia, Estonia. Group 2, Romania, Kosovo, Cyprus, and one of Lithuania or Gibraltar. I think that match is going to be played, might be played in March, I think. So that group will be finalised then. Group 3, Luxembourg, Bulgaria, Northern Ireland and Belarus. It'll be interesting to see when Northern Ireland play Belarus. Group 4, Armenia, Faroe Islands, North Macedonia and Latvia. And then we get in to League A. So League A, all the top seeds for the groups were last year's semi-finalists, Croatia, Italy, Netherlands and Spain. Of course, Spain are the current holders of it. But Group 1, Croatia, Portugal, Poland and Scotland. Now, I think Scotland have got a realistic chance of surviving that group. If they play how they have been playing of late, there's a chance that they can, survive that, and maybe we can be drawn with them in the next incarnation of the Nations League. Group 2, Italy, Belgium, France and Israel. You can only assume that Israel will be the whipping boys there, but again, it would be interesting, where will they play their games? Group 3, the Netherlands, Hungary, Germany, and Bosnia and Herzegovina. Hungary and Germany, of course, were both drawn together in our group last time around. In Group 4, Spain, the holders, Denmark, Switzerland, and Serbia. So that was the Nations League draw, done and dusted. Thankfully, they got through it without any sex noises on a mobile phone. hidden within the auditorium this time. But I guess the next draw we have to look forward to will be the World Cup qualifying for 2026, isn't it? It's going to come around so soon. I'll have to find out when that draw takes place, because we all like a draw, don't we? Now, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me. Before I go, thank you I'd just like to mention Ko-fi again, and those that have supported the podcast. It's so kind of you, and I'm really grateful. All contributions that you should want to make entirely up to you go towards the monthly web hosting that's needed for this podcast. You can head towards www.ko-fi.com/Three Lions Podcast. Spell 3, THREE. It's ko-fi.com, Three Lions Podcast. As I say, thank you very much. It's really kind of you, and it's really appreciated. Don't forget, you can follow the show on social media. You know where to go. Just search Three Lions Podcast, give it a like, a follow, all that sort of thing. And I will be with you again very soon. I've threatened it, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to bring you the Valentine's Day special. It's coming your way, of course, on Valentine's Day. Thanks very much for joining me. I'll be back with you very soon for that episode. So in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Cheers.